Looking for a team just like mine? Take my word for it. Don't buy packs. Buy coins instead. Head on over to MrMuckCoin.com where you can not only purchase coins, but you can get players and training and much more. Use code GS30 for 30% off. What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Jess. Welcome back to another Madden 20 video. Hopefully, you guys are doing fantastic. So today, we are just going to go ahead and this is something I kind of wanted to talk about, right? Because someone had hit me up yesterday in the video comment section with the hashtag banana1. It's like, you know, Jess, I'm going to send you my team. I would love some suggestions. Is there any way you could help me out? So he sent me his team on Twitter, and I had got back to him if he's running the Seahawks theme. Because if you're running a specific theme team, then you know, it makes sense on why you have certain players and upgrades and stuff like that. But I thought about, you know, why not give my opinion on who I feel like are some of the best players at certain positions and why. So I'm going to start off with today, as you can tell from the video, just safeties. I'm going to talk about free safeties and strong safeties. And I'm going to talk about who does the best unactive. Now, I have played over 3,000 online head-to-head games and squads in also just online head-to-head, also between like draft champions. I've done everything this year, plethora of stuff except salary cap. Salary cap, excuse me. That's the literal only mode I have yet to play. So I feel like a lot of people give like their opinion on players they never used before, and I don't like when people shoot down a player that they haven't used, or they give their opinion on whether someone is good or if they're not, if they haven't used them. Like, I'll never forget a few years ago, I remember I was in W Stream and he was talking about how Mel Blount at the time was the best cornerback in the game. And I typed in his chat, "You are sadly mistaken, sir. The best cornerback in the game is playoff Malcolm Butler." And he just went off about how I'm a casual and how I'm so wrong and how Mel Blount is the best cornerback in the game and how I'm just stick to just casual and stuff like that. And you see, this is the problem with you casuals, man. And nothing wrong with, now obviously W is you know, skill wise, I would say he's a better player than me. I mean, you know, dude won a belt, he's a monster. I feel like you shouldn't give your opinion on you know, food that you've never eaten, right? So I mean, I say that analogy is like, I know he's never used Malcolm Butler, right? So me, the content creator, I used everyone, right? I have used a lot of people, a lot of players, you know, in squads. If I don't got them, someone else has them. I see how they perform. I see how they play. I see their tendencies. I see whether they can do good. I see whether they cannot. Certain players are phenomenal. Like back in the day, anyone knows Darren McFadden for the Raiders was a glitch. He was a monster. He was an absolute goon. No matter his overall, he was a monster and he made plays. Some people, look at Dre Archer, the bronze card from a few Maddens ago. Didn't matter. He had 97 stock speed. Didn't matter. He was a 57 overall. The guy was a monster. You know, and I was like, have you used Malcolm Butler? Like, I promise you, Butler makes plays that no one else I've seen makes. Like, he's jumping things that no one else does. Now, yeah, Mel Blount can lay the wood, and I'm sure he's caused fumbles for W and, you know, block shadows. Like, that's why he's the best in the game. But I've seen Malcolm Butler do wild things that year. Up to that point, he was the best corner in the game. Of course, it's all opinion based, but, you know, I like to try and, you know, talk about people that I've used or that I've seen. So we're going to start with the free safety position today, and we're going to go straight to free safety. We're going to do free safety and strong safety. Now, the first free safety. Now, again, I say unactive because active, it doesn't matter what your attributes are. You're going to excel at that specific rating with that ability active. Meaning, you could have zero block shed. Literal zero. But if your guy has inside stuff on him, whenever someone runs an inside zone, they're going to just completely blow the run up. So yes, you can sit here and say free safety Calvin for you is an absolute monster. I have lurker, enforcer, run stopper, and out my way, and he blows everything up. He's a monster. He's going to do that. Yes, of course he's going to get spec catch animations when they throw his way because that's what Lurker does. Who can animate without the abilities? Who makes plays not active? That's what we're shooting here for. And the best free safety in this game, unactive. I feel without a doubt, I wouldn't think twice about it. This man is a goon. I had him for so long because this guy is a monster. And if you can get him on your team, thank me later. I am talking about Justin Reed. My lordy, is this guy an absolute monster? I promise you, if you get him on your team, he will make plays. I got him maybe like 2 weeks after he came out, and I had him I had him for a while. I had him until Golden Ticket Calvin Johnson came out. I had Justin Reed for a while, and anyone, and I rarely seen Justin Reeds in squads and head-to-head and weekend league and house rules and anything head-to-head related. I would rarely see this card, and I really think people don't understand how good this guy is. 6'1", 94 speed. So you can get +4 if you get +1 from Madden, if you power him up, and if you get brawler or sprinter on him. 98 speed, 6'1". When I tell you this man is the best unactive free safety in the game, listen to your boy Unc speak. Listen. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say like he's so much more dominant than, let's say, like a Calvin Johnson, right? Because Calvin can do certain things that no one else can because of his height. He's a very good user. So I never user Justin Reed. Calvin is obviously going to be the better user, 100%, right? He's taller, 6'5", is very difficult to get the ball over him because of his height. But if you're not going to use your free safety, no one excelled at the position better than Justin Reed. This guy right here would be all over the field. He would be everywhere. He is always around the ball. He makes plays. He is just a human ball hawk. No matter where the ball is thrown, he will be there. I've had this card for so long, and I would have so many people tell me that would be on my team that, man, that Justin Reed is an absolute monster because no one really used him. Now, before I got him, he replaced for me, I think, Ronnie. I had someone, right? And the card was more expensive. And I just wanted to downgrade. I was like, I don't really need this guy. Let me get Justin Reed. He's cheaper. And I think he was like 1 speed faster. And he's like 6'1". Let me give him a shot. And let me tell you, this guy is an animal. He's always around the ball. He does phenomenal in the run game. And he's always like my middle third whenever I play like cover 3 out of nickel. And I've seen him make plays where he should not be in the air. Like, he just shouldn't be there. Like, why is Justin Reed there? He has been my absolute favorite free safety to use in the game unactive. The guy's an absolute monster. He's been on my team for so long. And then once Golden Ticket Calvin came out, since I mainly play more squads, because, that's how I've been grinding my coins and stuff like that, outside of just like head-to-head videos to give you guys gameplay. It's like, Calvin is going to be more of a user for us, and he's going to be more beneficiary as a user. But unactive, let the computer roam. Justin Reed is a monster. You get your hands on this guy, and you will not regret it. He is an absolute monster. And the second, I'm going to do 2 in each position. The second best unactive free safety I have been able to use all year. He is still on my team. None other than Sean Taylor. Now, Sean Taylor is a unique specimen. And I say unique because I rarely user him at the free safety spot. He is someone I feel is better utilized at a corner spot. The reason why I say that is because he is blessed with one of the highest block sheds in the game. You take a look at his block shed, right? He's 6'2", so he has tremendous height. And you go on ahead and you take. We all know, obviously, he has tremendous hip power. But you take a look at his block shed being almost 80, and that's extremely, extremely high, right? So I put him at cornerback, and he does a phenomenal job of blowing up the run because he's very difficult to block at almost 80 block shed, over 80 if you have run stuff on him. Depends if you want to go lockdown or run stuff, but if you go run stuff, you can surpass 80 on him. And I've always had him at cornerback, and he just continuously makes plays, and he's very difficult to run his way, and that is something that's the meta this year, right? The meta is running the ball. You want to try and get players that is going to make it difficult for your opponent to really run the ball, because that's what most people do. Yes, you're going to have some people, pass the ball and stuff like that, but if you have Sean Taylor, I still have my 95 pass on him. I've never taken it off of him. I put him at corner for the most part, or in nickel. I user him at middle linebacker spot because of the block shed, because of the speed, because of the zone coverage. Once he gets a UL, he's going to be so ferociously dominant. But I feel like Justin Reed is a great free safety, actually over the top, because of his insane zone coverage and his knack for the ball and just being a ball hawk. And Sean Taylor is a great run stuffing corner, where one, it's tough to get the ball over him because he's 6'2". He has great verticality with his height, and his block shedding is a monster. You get Sean Taylor, you put him at corner. Now this is what I did. You put him at corner, and running his way is tough. Your Torrey Holtz, your Randy Mosses, your Andre Reeds, your whoever you have at wide receiver is going to have a tough time blocking him because of his extremely high block shed. And once he gets off the block, you don't have to worry about that hit power. And he's just been phenomenal for me. One, Justin Reed unactive. Two, Sean Taylor, without a doubt, the best free safeties I've been able to use all year. Strong safety now. We are going to go on ahead and take a look at who I think is the best strong safety unactive I've been able to use all year, and it is this young gentleman right here in Ken Houston. Now, right now, I have Golden Ticket Taylor Mays, who he's good. He's good. So the sample size on him is still, not too much. He's still fairly new. I haven't been able to use him too much, but Ken Houston is the same to me as I drop my controller. He's the same to me as Justin Reed was. Just such a phenomenal offensive. Wrong, not offense. Just a phenomenal passing defensive player that he is just always around the ball. I really feel like when I had him and Justin Reed together, they just made plays, man. Certain people just make plays. Like you take a look at his his height, 6'3", being very tall. You take a look at his zone coverage, phenomenal. That can get up to 99. His speed could get up to 98. His excel could get close to 98. His hit power isn't the greatest. It's good, but it's not the greatest. He doesn't get enforcer, and I feel like abilities turn people away from certain cards because they can't get certain abilities. Like, how many people are interested in a Ken Houston because he doesn't get enforcer, right? A lot of people would want the big bang, they want the Taylor Mazes, the Sean Taylors, the Ronnie Lotts, the guys that can hit very hard, the guys that they can activate and stuff like that. But if you're not going active, strong safety, I promise you get this guy on your squad, and he is just going to be all over the field, making plays for you left and right. And him and Justin Reed just continuously made plays in the passing game for me. They are just always around the ball. And I love people like that. You can only control one player. And you need to try and find guys with good traits, because traits is important. If you do not have the big hitter trait and he's inactive, he's just never going to give you a big hit. Like, unless you click on and do it yourself, they're not going to, unless you go hitting on aggressive, they're not, the game is built and designed in a way with animations. That's all this game is about. So if you have the big hitter trait, then by himself, they will clap. You look at Night Train Lane, one of the few corners with big hitter traits. We have him on our team or we faced them. We've all seen Night Train clap someone, or we all gotten clapped by Night Train Lane because he has the big hitter trait. You don't have to go on tackle aggressive. You don't have to force that animation out of him. Ken Houston has 92 hit power. So with that low hit power, he doesn't get enforcer. So that being said, in order for him to get big hit animations, he either has to have the big hitter trait or you have to put tackling on aggressive. He does have the big hitter trait, so he will clap. He will cause fumbles for you. He will just devastate people with his hit power. Even though he doesn't get enforcer, he claps. He's a phenomenal non-ability guy, and he is someone. Him and Justin Reed are just so good. Honestly, if we weren't trying to get like the top tier, players and golden tickets and stuff like that, it would be Ken Houston and Justin Reed, free safety and strong safety until Ultimate Legend Sean Taylor comes out. There was no need really for me to come out and get rid of Justin Reed. We just got Calvin because one, he gets 4 abilities, right? And I wanted to go with the active free safety instead of non-active. That's why I feel like Calvin by far is better active than Justin Reed. He gets 4 abilities, right? You can put Lurker, Enforcer, Tackle Supreme, and Universal Coverage on him, which is phenomenal. Justin Reed doesn't get Enforcer and things like that. But unactive, if I'm going unactive and I'm not using him, I would go with, obviously if you got it like that, you go Calvin. But for me, there's no need to go Calvin over Justin Reed and, spend $5 million more when Justin Reed's an absolute animal. And Ken Houston is that to me for Taylor Mays. I can honestly say that unactive, Taylor Mays hasn't been doing much. He has 99 block shed and, all this great stuff, but he hasn't really been doing much unactive. Ken Houston, unactive, balls the hell out. He is an absolute goon, and he's just very Justin. Everything I said for Justin Reed can translate straight to Ken Houston because he's an absolute monster. Now the second guy, even though I kind of said stuff about his golden ticket, is going to be Taylor Mays. He is his theme diamond I had for the longest, and his theme diamond is an absolute monster. I guess I'm just holding the golden ticket to a high regard, right? It cost me $5 million, and he should blow you out of the water, right? When you take a look at his attributes, you should have him out there, and he should be like, oh my lord, he is an absolute freaking monster. How did I ever go without this guy? He is everywhere, and he just doesn't bring that to the table for me. Is he worth $5 million? Active, I can make a case, but unactive, why did I put Y instead of R? Unactive though, I have not had him for too long, so it's still tough to say. But I can say that his Team Diamond is 95 overall, which is very inexpensive. Is a monster. I do the same thing that I did with Sean Taylor. I did with this Taylor Mays right here. Very high block shed, right? And not to mention he gets 49er chem, so that was an extra boost. But you take a look at his block shed being 83, very high, very difficult to run the ball his way because he sheds. He does a very good job of shedding. Now, you would think the golden ticket Taylor May is going to be an absolute animal, and he does good, but I'm just expecting tremendous godlike things from him, and I haven't seen it yet. But I can say the Theme Diamonds variation, I guess I wasn't expecting him to block shed like he had 99 block shed, how Golden Ticket does, and he's an absolute monster. Very inexpensive, very tremendous in the run. I would put him and Sean Taylor at cornerback and trying to run the ball their way, unless you put Delaney Walker out there or someone that's an absolute stud in the run game. They're going to shed and they're going to set the edge for you. Tremendous height, great speed, decent zone coverage, not the best, 91 zone, not the best. He's not making tremendous plays, picking things off how I know for a fact Justin Reed or Ken Houston does, but he's a factor in another way. What Justin Reed can't really do, which is be a tremendous goon in the run game, Taylor Mays does that. He's very high hit power, very good, very great speed, very good block shedding and things like that. So those are the two guys I would say unactive are the best I've been able to use all year. Free safety, Justin Reed, free safety, Sean Taylor, and then on strong safety has been Ken Houston and Taylor Mays. Now we'll do over, probably next couple days. There's probably going to be only 12 people to sit here and watch this. No one, who's really going to take my advice, right? Is anyone going to get Justin Reed? I don't know. But if you do, trust me, give it about 5 days. You hit me up on Twitter later and be like, yo, Unc, damn, this Justin Reed is a monster. You're right. You're going to hit me up later like, you know what? I had a 98 pass just sitting around, or 97 pass sitting around, and I finally used it on Kenny Houston. I didn't use it because he didn't get enforcer, but you're right, unactive, he's a monster. Him and Justin Reed together has been monster. I put Taylor Mays out there cornerback, and now no one can run that way. Trust me, I don't think anyone on Xbox has played this game more than me, and I've seen it all. I've done it all. Been there, done that, and these are the best unactive guys at that position. I can possibly do linebackers next, give you guys the best unactive linebackers from left, middle, and right. Again, and everyone can do great with abilities. You know, if you put enforcer on someone, they're going to hit it really hard, right? Yes, you can tell me your Ray Lewis just absolutely decimates people with enforcer. Of course he is, because that ability forces that. Yes, of course, your fast break Michael Vick is going to be phenomenal in QB runs because that's what that ability does. What can they do non-active? Who can you put on the field unactive that's going to produce? And I give you my word, those 4 guys at those safety spots will deliver. It's your boy GS. We're going to go on and be signing out, man. Gameplay coming out later tomorrow. Until next time, peace.